It was a bright and bustling afternoon in Los Angeles. The sun shone brightly over the city, and the streets were alive with energy. In the heart of the city, a children's hospital stood tall, a place filled with both hope and hardship. Inside one of the rooms, a young boy named Ethan lay in bed, his small frame dwarfed by the medical equipment surrounding him. At just 9 years old, Ethan had spent more time in hospitals than playgrounds. But despite his illness, his eyes still sparkled with excitement every time he talked about his favorite hero, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Ethan's mother sat beside him, holding his hand as he scrolled through pictures of The Rock on her phone. "One day, I'm gonna be strong like him, Mom," Ethan said, flexing his tiny arms with a tired grin. His mother smiled and ruffled his hair. "You're already the strongest kid I know, sweetheart." What Ethan didn't know was that fate had a special surprise in store for him. Earlier that week, a nurse at the hospital had reached out to Dwayne Johnson's team, sharing Ethan's story. Moved by the boy's courage and admiration, The Rock cleared his schedule for the afternoon and made a plan to visit. A few hours later, the hospital hallways were filled with whispers and excitement. Nurses exchanged glances, and doctors smiled knowingly. Then the door to Ethan's room swung open, and in walked a towering figure, his presence radiating warmth and confidence. "Hey, buddy!" Dwayne Johnson's deep, friendly voice filled the room. Ethan's eyes widened, his mouth opening slightly in shock. For a moment, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. "No way! No way!" he shouted, trying to sit up. The Rock grinned and walked over, gently placing a hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Easy there, champ. I heard you're one of my toughest fans." Ethan could barely contain his excitement. "You're really here? Like, for real?" he asked, his voice filled with disbelief. Dwayne nodded. "In the flesh, my man. And I came all this way because I heard you're a fighter just like me." For the next hour, Ethan and The Rock talked, laughed, and even did a few pretend wrestling moves on the hospital bed. Johnson signed Ethan's favorite wrestling action figure, took dozens of pictures, and even FaceTimed with some of Ethan's friends to share the special moment. At one point, Ethan got quiet and looked up at The Rock with wide, serious eyes. "Mr. Johnson, do you ever get scared?" The Rock sat down beside him, nodding thoughtfully. "Of course, buddy. Everyone gets scared sometimes. When I was a kid, my family didn't have a lot, and I didn't know what the future would hold. But I learned that real strength isn't about never being afraid. It's about pushing forward even when you are. And you're one of the strongest kids I've ever met." Tears welled in Ethan's eyes, but he wiped them away quickly, nodding with determination. "I'll keep fighting, just like you." Dwayne smiled and ruffled his hair. "That's what I like to hear." Before he left, he handed Ethan a custom-made championship belt with his name on it. "Every champ needs a belt, right?" Ethan held the belt tightly, his face glowing with happiness. "Best day ever," he shouted. As The Rock walked out, he turned back and gave Ethan a salute. "Stay strong, champ. I'll see you again soon." Later that night, Ethan clutched his championship belt as he drifted off to sleep, his heart full of joy. In that moment, he wasn't just a sick kid in a hospital bed. He was a warrior just like his hero.